Why does getting out of bed feel harder each morning? Why do your knees protest with every step down the stairs, as if they are carrying a weight you cannot see? Why does that familiar stiffness in your legs refuse to leave? Even hours after you have started your day, you might think it is just aging. You might believe this is simply what happens when you pass 60. But here is the harsh truth: what is stealing your strength and independence is not time itself. It is the silent culprit hiding in your morning routine, the very habits you repeat without question, day after day after day. The reality is this: 5 common morning habits are quietly destroying your knee joints and eating away at the muscle that keeps you standing, walking, and independent. These are not dramatic mistakes. They are small, invisible choices that seem harmless, even healthy. But inside your body, they trigger a cascade of hidden harm that weakens your cartilage, drains your muscle tissue, and turns your mornings into a slow march toward immobility. This is your wake-up call. Today, you will discover the 5 morning mistakes that are robbing you of the life you deserve. You will learn exactly why they hurt you, precisely how they work against your body at the cellular level, and most importantly, what you can do right now, starting tomorrow morning, to stop the damage and reclaim your strength, your mobility, and your independence. These are not theories. These are not guesses. These are evidence-based truths backed by research, proven by real people, and confirmed by thousands of seniors who have reversed their pain by making these exact changes. But before we continue, if you or someone you love is facing a health challenge, if their mornings are filled with pain or their legs are growing weaker, type 1 or share their name in the comments below. We will keep them in our prayers and healing thoughts. This video is for you, and it is for them. Now let us begin. Mistake 1. Drinking coffee immediately after waking up. Coffee in the morning feels like a ritual of energy, warmth, and comfort. It is the first thing many of us reach for. The moment our eyes open, we believe it wakes us up, sharpens our mind, and prepares us for the day ahead. It seems harmless. It seems necessary. Millions of people around the world do it without a second thought. Here is the twist. Though when you drink coffee on an empty stomach, immediately after waking, your body is still in a state of deep dehydration from the long hours of sleep. During sleep, you lose approximately 1 to 2 pounds of water through breathing and perspiration. Your intervertebral discs, those soft cushions between the bones of your spine, and the cartilage in your knees depend critically on water to stay plump, flexible, and protective. Cartilage is approximately 70 to 80% water. When you are dehydrated, that percentage drops, and your cartilage becomes thin, brittle, and unable to absorb shock. Caffeine is a powerful diuretic. It pulls water out of your system at the exact moment your body needs it most. For every cup of coffee you drink, you lose approximately 1¼ cups of fluid through increased urination. But it does not stop there. Cortisol, your body's natural waking hormone, is already at its peak in the early morning, typically between 6 and 8 a.m. This is called the cortisol awakening response. When you flood your system with caffeine during this cortisol surge, you create a hormonal collision. Elevated cortisol combined with caffeine creates a stress response that accelerates the breakdown of collagen in your joints. Collagen is the structural protein that keeps your cartilage strong, resilient, and capable of withstanding pressure. Research has shown that chronic caffeine consumption on an empty stomach increases the production of matrix metalloproteinases, enzymes that literally digest your own cartilage tissue. This process is invisible. You cannot feel it happening. But year after year, your cartilage thins, your joint space narrows, and eventually bone begins grinding against bone. This is the silent culprit at work. Imagine this: you wake up, you drink your coffee, and within an hour your knees feel stiff. You stand up from the breakfast table, and there is a sharp twinge in your left knee. You walk to the bathroom, and your legs feel heavier than they should. You dismiss it. You think it is just stiffness, just the morning, just your body waking up. But it is not. It is dehydration-induced cartilage compression happening in real time. Over weeks, months, and years. This daily habit leads to chronic knee pain that does not go away. It leads to that grinding sensation when you bend down to pick something up. It leads to the fear of stairs, the hesitation before standing, the slow, heartbreaking realization that your body is not as strong as it used to be. This is not aging. This is a thief you invited into your morning, and it has been stealing from you every single day. Let me tell you about Margaret. She is 63 years old, a retired teacher from Ohio who spent 30 years shaping young minds. For all those 30 years, Margaret started every single morning the same way. She would roll out of bed at 6 a.m., walk straight to her kitchen in her robe and slippers, and brew a strong cup of black coffee. Dark roast, no sugar, no cream, just pure, strong coffee. It was her moment of peace, her quiet meditation before the chaos of the day began. Margaret loved that coffee. It represented freedom, adulthood, self-care. She would sit by her kitchen window, watching the sunrise, feeling the warmth of the cup in her hands, and she felt grateful. But around age 60, Margaret noticed something troubling. Her knees began to ache, not dramatically, not suddenly, but persistently. She would stand from her kitchen chair after that first cup of coffee, and her left knee would catch, as if something inside was grinding against itself. She ignored it for months. She thought it was just getting older, just part of the deal. Then one morning in early spring, as she stepped down from her porch to water her garden, her knee gave out completely. She caught herself on the railing, but the pain was sharp, electric, unmistakable. At her doctor's appointment 3 days later, an X-ray revealed significant cartilage thinning in both knees, more severe on the left side. The doctor asked her about her habits, her daily routine, what she ate, what she drank. When she mentioned the coffee ritual, he paused. He asked a simple question: do you drink water before your coffee? Margaret looked at him, confused. Water. No, why would I? The doctor explained that decades of morning dehydration had slowly compressed her joint cartilage, making it brittle and vulnerable. He explained the cortisol collision, the diuretic effect, the collagen breakdown. Margaret was devastated. She had no idea that something as simple, as beloved, as innocent as coffee could cause such profound harm. But here is the hopeful part of her story. Margaret made one change, just one. She started drinking a full 12-ounce glass of warm water before her coffee. That was it. She did not give up coffee. She just drank water first. Within 6 weeks, her morning stiffness decreased noticeably. Within 3 months, she was back in her garden, kneeling on both knees without fear, planting tomatoes and roses with her grandchildren by her side. Margaret's story is not unique. It is happening to millions of people who believe coffee is harmless. But now you know the truth. And tomorrow morning, you can make a different choice. But if coffee is stealing your joint health in the morning, what about the other habit you skip without thinking? The one that leaves your muscles asleep, stiff, and vulnerable to injury. Let us talk about that next. Mistake 2, skipping gentle morning stretches. You wake up, you move through your routine, and you assume your body will warm up on its own as the day progresses. Stretching feels optional, something for athletes or yoga enthusiasts or people with too much time on their hands. You think to yourself, I am just going to make breakfast, get dressed, maybe read the paper. Why would I need to stretch? I am not running a marathon. I am just living my life. Here is the harsh truth after 6 to 8 hours of stillness during sleep. Your muscles are cold, your fascia is tight, and your circulation is sluggish. Your hip flexors, quadriceps, hamstrings, and calf muscles are in a contracted, shortened state. Blood flow to your extremities drops by as much as 30% during sleep. Your synovial fluid, the lubricant inside your knee joints, thickens and becomes viscous when you are immobile. When you skip even 5 minutes of gentle stretching, you are forcing these cold, stiff, unprepared muscles to bear the full load of your body weight without any warm-up. This creates micro tears in the muscle fibers. It restricts blood flow to your knees and ankles. It puts uneven, asymmetric pressure on your knee joints because your muscles are not doing their job to stabilize, support, and protect. Think of it this way, your muscles are like shock absorbers in a car. When they are warm and flexible, they absorb impact and distribute force evenly. When they are cold and tight, all that force goes directly into your joints. Over time, this imbalance leads to accelerated cartilage wear, especially on the medial side of the knee, the inner portion where most seniors develop arthritis first. This is insidious harm. It happens so slowly, so quietly that you do not notice it until the pain is constant and the damage is already done. Research shows that seniors who skip morning mobility work lose muscle elasticity at twice the rate of those who stretch regularly. This loss of elasticity directly correlates with increased fall risk, decreased balance, and reduced independence. Think about the last time you stood up quickly in the morning. Did your knees buckle slightly? Did you feel a wobble, a momentary loss of balance, a split second where you were not sure if your legs would hold you? That is your muscles failing to activate. That is your body telling you it is not ready, not prepared, not strong enough. Now imagine this happening every single morning. Your legs grow weaker, your knees grow less stable. You start gripping the armrest of the chair when you stand. You start avoiding walks because your legs feel too heavy, too uncertain. You start fearing the moment when you will not be able to stand up on your own, when you will need help, when your independence will slip through your fingers like sand. This is not inevitable. This is preventable. But only if you listen to the wake-up call. Thomas was 67, a proud man who had worked construction for 40 years. He had built houses, poured concrete, framed roofs under the blazing sun. He believed his body was tough, unbreakable, forged by decades of hard labor. Stretching was something he never considered. He thought it was soft, unnecessary, a waste of time. He would wake up, put on his boots, and head straight out the door to work in his garage workshop. One Tuesday morning in November, Thomas stood up from his bed and immediately walked toward the bathroom. His legs were stiff, as they always were first thing in the morning, but he ignored it. He had ignored it for years. As he stepped into the hallway, his right knee suddenly buckled without warning. He fell hard against the wall, catching himself just before hitting the floor. The pain shot through his knee like lightning, white hot and terrifying. At the emergency room 2 hours later, the doctor examined him and explained that his quadriceps muscles had failed to activate properly. They were weak, atrophied, shortened from years of neglect. Without the muscular support, his knee joint had collapsed under his own body weight. The ligaments were strained, the cartilage was bruised. Thomas needed 8 weeks of physical therapy to rebuild the strength he had lost. But here is what Thomas learned, and here is why his story matters to you, his physical therapist. A woman named Lisa, who was firm but kind, taught him 5 simple stretches to do every morning, right there in bed before even standing up. Hip flexor stretches to open the front of his hips. Hamstring stretches to lengthen the back of his legs. Ankle circles to wake up his circulation. Knee to chest pulls to mobilize his lower back. 5 minutes, that was all. 5 minutes before his feet touched the floor. Within 2 months, Thomas reported that his knees felt stronger, more stable, more trustworthy. His balance improved. His confidence returned. He told me later, with tears in his eyes, that those 5 minutes saved his independence. He said he wished someone had told him decades earlier. That is why I am telling you now. You do not need to wait for a fall to make this change. You do not need to lose your independence to realize its value. You can start tomorrow morning, right there in your bed, before you even stand. So you have skipped the stretch, and now your body is unprepared, vulnerable, unprotected. But what if the very food you eat for breakfast is actively inflaming your joints from the inside out? What if your morning meal is feeding the fire of pain? Let us uncover that next. Mistake 3, eating high-sugar cereal for breakfast. Cereal is quick, convenient, and comforting. Many cereals are marketed as heart-healthy, whole grain, or fortified with vitamins and minerals. The boxes show images of active, healthy people. The labels promise fiber, energy, and wellness. You pour it into a bowl, add milk, and feel like you are starting your day with something wholesome, something responsible. It seems like a smart choice. It seems like you are taking care of yourself. But here is the reality: most commercial cereals, even the ones marketed as healthy, are loaded with refined sugars, high fructose corn syrup, and high glycemic carbohydrates. When you eat them, especially on an empty stomach, your blood sugar spikes rapidly and dramatically. Within 15 to 30 minutes, your glucose levels can rise by 50 to 70 points. This sudden surge triggers a flood of insulin and inflammatory cytokines into your bloodstream. Cytokines are signaling molecules that tell your immune system to respond. But when they are triggered chronically, day after day, they create systemic inflammation. These inflammatory molecules travel directly to your joints, where they attack the delicate synovial lining that cushions your knees. Chronic inflammation is the silent destroyer of cartilage. It breaks down the proteoglycans, the molecules that keep your cartilage hydrated, plump, and shock absorbent. It accelerates the production of enzymes called aggreganases and collagenases that literally digest your own joint tissue from the inside. It creates a state called glycation, where sugar molecules bind to proteins in your cartilage and make them stiff, brittle, and prone to cracking. And it does this every single morning, meal after meal, year after year. This is the thief you cannot see, the one that operates in the bloodstream, quietly eroding the foundation of your mobility while you sit at the breakfast table reading the news. Studies have shown that people who consume high glycemic breakfasts have inflammatory markers that remain elevated for up to 6 hours after eating. That means your knees are inflamed from breakfast until lunchtime, every single day. You finish your cereal, and within an hour you feel a dull ache in your knees. You walk to the kitchen to rinse your bowl, and your joints feel swollen, tight, as if they are filled with sand or thick fluid. You sit down to rest, and standing back up takes effort, takes courage, takes a mental push. You think it is just a bad day. You think maybe you slept wrong, but it is not. It is inflammation, and it is cumulative. Over time, this daily assault leads to chronic knee pain that no painkiller can fully silence. It leads to stiffness that makes you avoid movement altogether. It leads to swelling that becomes your new normal. It leads to the gradual, heartbreaking loss of the things you love: gardening with your hands in the soil, walking through the park with friends, playing on the floor with grandchildren who do not understand why you cannot kneel anymore. This is not aging, this is a choice. And you can choose differently. Patricia was 61, a grandmother of 4 who loved nothing more than spending Saturday mornings playing in the yard with her grandchildren. Every morning for as long as she could remember, she ate the same breakfast, a bowl of honey-flavored cereal with low-fat milk. She thought it was healthy. The box said whole grain. The box said Heart Smart. The box had a check mark from some medical association she trusted. But over the course of 2 years, Patricia's knees began to swell. Not visibly at first, not in a way you could see from the outside, but she could feel it. They felt puffy, tight, stretched, as if her skin was 2 sizes too small for her joints. She visited 3 different doctors. They ran blood tests, took x-rays, prescribed anti-inflammatory medications that made her stomach hurt. Nothing worked. The pain persisted. The swelling remained. Finally, a nutritionist at her local clinic asked her to keep a detailed food diary for 2 weeks. When Patricia wrote down everything she ate and when she ate it, the pattern became crystal clear. Every morning, within 90 minutes of eating that cereal, her knee pain intensified. Every single morning without fail. The nutritionist explained that the high sugar content was spiking her blood glucose dramatically, triggering an inflammatory response that specifically targeted her joints. She explained glycation, cytokines, cartilage breakdown. Patricia felt angry, betrayed, confused. How could something marketed as healthy be hurting her so badly? Patricia made one change. She replaced her cereal with 2 scrambled eggs cooked in a little butter and a handful of fresh berries on the side. Within 3 weeks, the swelling in her knees decreased noticeably. Within 2 months, she was back on the floor, playing with her grandchildren, laughing without wincing, moving without pain. She told me she wished someone had warned her years earlier, before the damage accumulated. That is why I am warning you now, today, right now. So you have eaten breakfast, and inflammation is already coursing through your joints, attacking your cartilage, stealing your mobility. But what you do next might be even more dangerous. What if sitting still after your meal is silently killing your independence? Let us explore that now. Mistake 4. Sitting for long periods after breakfast, reading the paper or watching TV. Breakfast is finished, and you settle into your favorite chair with the newspaper or the television remote. It feels like a peaceful, earned way to ease into the day. You think to yourself, I have time. The day is long, I will move later. What harm could sitting do? I am just relaxing for a bit. Here is the harsh truth: sitting immediately after a meal, especially a carbohydrate-heavy meal, is one of the most damaging habits for your muscles, joints, and metabolic health. When you sit, your hip flexors shorten and tighten, your glutes and hamstrings completely disengage, and blood flow to your lower limbs slows by as much as 50%. At the same time, the glucose from your breakfast is circulating in your bloodstream, looking for somewhere to go, looking for muscles to absorb it. But because your muscles are inactive, because they are not contracting, because they are essentially asleep, that glucose cannot be absorbed efficiently. It lingers in your blood, spiking insulin levels and triggering systemic inflammation throughout your entire body. Meanwhile, the pressure on your knee joints increases dramatically because your muscles are not contracting to support them. Your cartilage is compressed without relief, without circulation, without oxygen. Your synovial fluid, which needs movement to circulate and lubricate, becomes stagnant. And your muscles, already weakened by age, begin to atrophy even faster. Research shows that sitting for just 30 minutes after a meal can reduce muscle protein synthesis by up to 25% in older adults. This is the silent culprit of immobility. This is the habit that steals your independence, one comfortable morning at a time, one newspaper article at a time, one television program at a time. You sit there comfortable and still, legs crossed or stretched out on an ottoman, and you do not feel the harm in the moment. But your body does. Your muscles are shrinking at the cellular level. Your joints are stiffening, losing a range of motion degree by degree. Your circulation is failing, depriving your tissues of oxygen and nutrients they desperately need. And then, one day, maybe weeks or months from now, you stand up and your legs buckle beneath you. You reach desperately for the armrest, and you realize with cold fear that you cannot stand without help anymore. You try to walk, and your knees scream in protest, sharp and unforgiving. This is the moment when independence becomes a fading memory. This is the moment when you need someone else to help you stand, to help you move, to help you live your own life. And it all began with a chair, a newspaper, a television show, and the innocent belief that sitting was harmless. It is not. It is a slow, invisible death for your mobility. Robert was 65, a retired postal worker who had spent his entire career walking miles every single day, delivering mail through rain and snow and summer heat. After retirement, his routine changed dramatically. Every morning he would eat his breakfast, usually toast and jam with orange juice, and then sit in his leather recliner to watch the morning news. 1 hour became 2, 2 hours became 3. He told himself he had earned the rest after 40 years of hard work. But within 18 months, Robert noticed something alarming, something that terrified him in the middle of the night when he could not sleep. Standing from that chair became difficult, then very difficult, then almost impossible. His legs felt weak, unsteady, unreliable. He started using both arms to push himself up with all his strength. Then one Monday morning, he simply could not stand at all. His legs would not respond. They felt like dead weight, like they belonged to someone else. His wife called for help, panicked and crying, and Robert was taken to the hospital by ambulance. The diagnosis was severe muscle atrophy in his quadriceps, hip flexors, and gluteal muscles. The doctors explained that prolonged sitting after meals had caused his muscles to waste away at an accelerated rate. His circulation had slowed so much that his legs were no longer receiving adequate oxygen and nutrients. His muscle tissue was literally dying. Robert spent 6 weeks in intensive rehabilitation, learning to walk again like a child, holding parallel bars, taking tiny steps, fighting tears of frustration and shame. But here's the powerful part of his story. Robert made a commitment that changed everything. After every meal, without exception, he would walk for just 5 minutes, around his living room, down the hallway, out to the mailbox and back. Just 5 minutes of movement, no excuses. Within 3 months, his leg strength returned measurably. Within 6 months, he was walking a full mile every day, feeling strong, feeling capable, feeling like himself again. Robert told me, with his voice breaking, that those 5 minutes of walking after meals saved his life, saved his marriage, saved his dignity. He said he would never take his legs for granted again. You do not need to wait until your legs fail you. You do not need to lose your independence to realize how precious it is. You can make the change tomorrow. You have been sitting, and your muscles are wasting away in silence, invisible and relentless. But what if the one thing that could save them, the one nutrient your body is desperately crying out for, is missing entirely from your breakfast plate? Let us uncover the final, most critical mistake now. Mistake 5, skipping protein in your morning meal. You eat toast with butter or jam, cereal with milk, fruit, maybe a pastry or muffin with your coffee. It feels light, easy, insufficient. You think protein is for bodybuilders or athletes or people who go to the gym every day. You think you can get it later in the day at lunch or dinner. You think it does not matter that much, especially in the morning. After all, you are not hungry for heavy food when you wake up. Here is the reality that changes everything. Your body is in a deeply catabolic state when you wake up. This means it has been breaking down muscle tissue overnight for 6 to 8 hours to fuel essential functions like breathing, heartbeat, brain activity, and cellular repair. If you do not provide high-quality protein in your first meal of the day, your body continues to cannibalize your muscles, continues to eat itself from the inside. This is especially devastating after age 60, when muscle protein synthesis, the process by which your body builds new muscle tissue, slows by approximately 30 to 50%. At the same time, muscle protein breakdown accelerates. This creates a metabolic crisis called sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, which is the primary driver of falls, fractures, and loss of independence in older adults. Protein is not just food. It is the raw material, the building blocks, the essential foundation your body uses to repair muscle fibers, produce collagen, maintain the structural integrity of your tendons and ligaments, and support your immune system. Without adequate protein, especially in the morning when your body needs it most, your quadriceps weaken and shrink. Your calves atrophy, your core muscles lose stability, your knees lose the muscular support they desperately need to function without pain. Research shows that consuming at least 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein at breakfast can increase muscle protein synthesis by up to 40% compared to a low-protein breakfast. This is not a small difference. This is the difference between maintaining your strength and losing it. This is insidious harm. It is invisible. You do not see your muscles disappearing in the mirror. The change is too gradual, too subtle. You just feel weaker, slower, more fragile, more afraid. And you wonder why your body is betraying you. But it is not betrayal, it is starvation. Imagine this progression, this slow descent that happens to millions of people. You skip protein at breakfast, day after day, year after year. Your legs grow thinner, the muscle definition fading, the strength ebbing away like water through your fingers. Your steps grow shorter, more cautious, more uncertain. You struggle to climb stairs, gripping the railing with both hands. You struggle to stand from a low chair, rocking back and forth to build momentum. You struggle to carry groceries from the car. your arms shaking with bags that used to feel light. One day, inevitably, you fall. Maybe on the stairs, maybe in the bathroom, maybe just walking across your living room when your leg gives out without warning, and you cannot get back up. Not because you are old, not because your time has come, but because your muscles are gone, dissolved, consumed by your own body because you did not feed them what they needed. Because the foundation of your interdependence has eroded, one protein-free breakfast at a time, one missed opportunity at a time. This is not aging. This is starvation. And it is completely, entirely, absolutely preventable. Helen was 62, a woman who had always been active, energetic, proud of her independence. She gardened, she volunteered at her church, she took care of her elderly mother who lived nearby. But over the course of 3 years, something changed so gradually she barely noticed at first. She noticed her pants fitting looser around her thighs. She noticed her arms looking thinner when she caught her reflection. She thought she was losing weight, and at first she was actually pleased. She thought she looked better. But then came the weakness that changed everything. Helen struggled to lift her grocery bags from the car trunk. She struggled to stand from the toilet without pushing off the walls. She struggled to climb the 3 small steps into her house, something she had done 10,000 times without thinking. Her daughter, visiting for the weekend, noticed immediately. She insisted Helen see a doctor. The diagnosis was sarcopenia, severe age-related muscle loss. The doctor, a kind man with gray hair and tired eyes, asked Helen detailed questions about her diet. Helen explained that she ate toast and jam for breakfast, maybe some fruit, a salad with vegetables for lunch, a small dinner with a little chicken or fish. The doctor paused, looked at her seriously, and said something Helen would never forget: "You are starving your muscles. You are eating food, but you are not eating protein. Your body is consuming itself. You are eating yourself alive." Helen was devastated. She felt foolish, angry at herself, betrayed by her own ignorance. She had no idea. Nobody had ever told her, but she made a change immediately, that very day. She started eating 2 eggs every morning, scrambled or boiled, Greek yogurt with her lunch, a full palm-sized portion of fish or chicken with dinner. Real protein, substantial protein. Within 8 weeks, Helen felt noticeably stronger. Within 4 months, her muscle mass had increased measurably on her doctor's body composition scan. She was climbing stairs again without fear, carrying her groceries again without help, living her life again without constant worry. Helen told me, with tears streaming down her face, that learning about protein saved her independence, her dignity, her life. She said she tells every person she meets about it now. And now I am sharing that knowledge with you, right here, right now. Do not wait. Do not make Helen's mistake. Start tomorrow. So now you know the 5 silent culprits, the 5 invisible thieves that are stealing your strength and independence every single morning. You know their names. You know how they work. You know the damage they cause. But here is the question that matters most. What do you do now? Do you surrender to the pain, the weakness, the fear of falling? Or do you fight back with knowledge, with intention, with power? Let me show you exactly how. Here is the good news, though, and I need you to really hear this, to let it sink deep into your heart and mind. You are not trapped. You are not powerless. You are not too old, too weak, or too far gone. And it is absolutely not too late to change. Every single one of these mistakes, every single silent culprit we have exposed today can be reversed, can be overcome, can be transformed with small, intentional, proven adjustments to your morning routine. These are not complicated strategies that require expensive equipment or specialized training. They are simple, practical, evidence-based solutions that thousands of seniors have used successfully to reclaim their mobility, reduce their pain, and restore their independence. And they work. They really work. Let me give you 4 powerful solutions, 4 sacred morning rituals that will protect your joints, rebuild your muscles, strengthen your legs, and give you back the life you thought was slipping away. Solution 1, drink a large glass of warm water immediately upon waking before anything else. This is the single most important change you can make starting tomorrow morning. Before you reach for coffee, before you check your phone, before you do anything else, drink 8 to 12 ounces of warm water. Not cold water, which can shock your system, but warm or room temperature water that your body can absorb immediately. This simple act rehydrates your intervertebral discs and knee cartilage after the long dry hours of sleep, restoring their cushioning ability and shock-absorbing capacity. It flushes out metabolic waste products and inflammatory toxins that have accumulated overnight. It supports healthy circulation, bringing oxygen and nutrients to your joints and muscles. It prepares your entire body for movement, for life, for the day ahead. Studies have shown that this one habit alone can reduce morning stiffness by up to 40% within just 2 weeks. 2 weeks. That is 14 days to feel significantly better. It is simple, it is free, it requires no special equipment, and it is remarkably powerful. Keep a glass of water on your nightstand before you go to sleep. Make it the first thing you reach for when you open your eyes. Make it sacred. Make it non-negotiable. Solution 2, replace sugary cereal with high-quality protein foods, eggs, Greek yogurt, or protein smoothies. This is where transformation happens at the cellular level. Swap that high-sugar cereal for 2 whole eggs, cooked any way you enjoy them, or a full serving of plain Greek yogurt with fresh berries, or a protein smoothie made with quality protein powder, spinach, and a small banana. These foods provide the complete amino acids your muscles desperately need to repair and grow. They stabilize your blood sugar, preventing the inflammatory spike that damages your joints. They give your body the precise building blocks required to produce collagen, the protein that keeps your cartilage strong and resilient. They signal to your body that you are fed, nourished, cared for, and that it does not need to break down your muscles for fuel. Within 30 days of making this single change, you will notice measurably stronger legs, significantly less joint pain, and more sustained energy that lasts throughout the entire day without crashes or fatigue. This is not a theory. This is what happens when you feed your body what it actually needs. Solution 3, perform 5 minutes of gentle hip and thigh stretches while still in bed, before you even stand up, before your feet touch the floor, while you are still lying in the warmth and safety of your bed. Perform these gentle stretches for your hip flexors, hamstrings, quadriceps, and lower back. These stretches wake up your muscles, increase blood flow to your joints, activate your circulation, and prepare your entire body for the demands of standing and walking. This is not exercise. This is not a workout. This is preparation. This is communication between your mind and your muscles, telling them it is time to wake up, time to support you, time to protect you. Here is exactly what to do. Lie on your back and pull one knee gently to your chest. Hold for 15 seconds. Then switch legs. Repeat 3 times on each side. Then, lying flat, flex your feet and point your toes 10 times slowly. Finally, bend your knees with feet flat on the bed and let your knees fall gently to one side. Hold for 20 seconds, then the other side. That is it. 5 minutes. Simple movements, profound effects. These stretches reduce your fall risk by improving balance and proprioception. They decrease morning joint stiffness by up to 60%. They prepare your muscles to activate properly when you stand. This small ritual makes an enormous difference, and it costs you nothing but 5 minutes of intentional movement. Solution 4, take a gentle 5-minute walk. Immediately after breakfast, no exceptions. Do not sit down after eating. Do not settle into your chair with the newspaper. Do not turn on the television. Instead, take a slow, gentle, purposeful walk around your home, through your yard, down your hallway, or around your block for just 5 minutes. Set a timer if you need to. Make it non-negotiable. This simple movement activates your leg muscles, particularly your quadriceps and calves, which pulls glucose out of your bloodstream and into your muscle cells where it belongs. This stabilizes your blood sugar and prevents the dramatic inflammatory spike that comes from sitting after a carbohydrate-containing meal. It keeps your circulation strong and your joints mobile. It signals to your body that movement is normal, expected, and safe. Research has shown that a 5-minute walk after meals can reduce post-meal blood sugar spikes by up to 30% in older adults. This is not a casual walk while scrolling your phone. This is an intentional, mindful walk where you feel your feet on the ground, notice your breath, and thank your legs for carrying you. Within 2 weeks of implementing this habit, you will notice improved energy, reduced joint stiffness, better digestion, and a growing confidence in your body's ability to move. This is not a workout. This is a wake-up call for your body, a gentle reminder that you are alive, capable, and strong. I know what some of you might be thinking right now. You might be thinking, 4 changes feels like too much. I cannot do all of this. I will fail. I always fail. But here is what I want you to understand, that you do not need to do all 4 changes tomorrow. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to start. Pick one, just one, the one that speaks to you most clearly, the one that feels most doable, the one your body is crying out for. Start there. Master that one change for a full week. Let it become automatic, natural, part of who you are. Then add the second change. Then the third, then the fourth. Small, consistent actions compound over time into extraordinary transformations. This is not about perfection. This is about progress. This is about honoring your body, one choice at a time, one morning at a time, one day at a time. These 4 solutions are your path forward. They are your defense against pain, weakness, and dependence. They are your bridge from where you are now to where you deserve to be. And they begin tomorrow morning, the moment you open your eyes. Before we close, before we say goodbye for today, I want to give you something powerful, something sacred, something that goes far beyond food choices, beyond stretches, beyond physical habits. I want to give you a practice that connects your mind directly to your body's innate, miraculous ability to heal itself. Your thoughts are not separate from your health. Your beliefs are not disconnected from your body's physical state. Science has shown us, through thousands of peer-reviewed studies, that the words you speak to yourself, the beliefs you hold about your body, and the intentions you set each morning have measurable, quantifiable effects on inflammation levels, muscle repair rates, circulation efficiency, immune function, and pain perception. Your body listens to your mind with extraordinary attention. Every thought you think creates a cascade of neurochemicals, hormones, and electrical signals that travel through your nervous system to every cell in your body. When you speak healing words, when you set positive intentions, when you visualize strength and mobility, your body responds with healing action at the cellular level. This is not wishful thinking. This is not pseudoscience. This is documented, evidence-based mind-body medicine that has been practiced for thousands of years and confirmed by modern research. Your body wants to heal. It is designed to heal. It is constantly working to repair, regenerate, and restore itself. And when you align your mind with that healing intention, you amplify its power exponentially. So I invite you now, right now in this moment, to take a pause with me. If you are able, sit comfortably in your chair or lie down if that feels better. Place both feet flat on the floor, feeling the solid ground beneath you. Rest your hands gently on your thighs or on your belly, wherever feels natural and comfortable. Close your eyes, or if that feels uncomfortable, simply soften your gaze toward the ground, letting your vision blur and relax. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose, filling your lungs completely, feeling your chest and belly expand like a gentle wave. Hold that breath for just a moment, noticing the stillness, the pause, the sacred space between breaths. Then release it slowly, completely, through your mouth, letting go of tension, worry, and doubt with that exhalation. Let us do this together, 3 times, creating a rhythm of breath that calms your nervous system and opens your body to healing. Breathe in slowly, deeply, completely. Hold. And breathe out, releasing everything that no longer serves you. Again, breathe in healing, wholeness, strength. Hold. Breathe out pain, fear, limitation. One more time, breathe in life, energy, possibility. Hold. Breathe out resistance, doubt, and resignation. Now, as you continue breathing naturally, easily, without effort, I want you to bring your attention, your awareness, your loving focus to your legs, your beautiful legs, your knees that have carried you through every moment of your life, your muscles that have supported you, lifted you, moved you through joy and sorrow, through celebration and challenge. These are not just body parts. These are sacred instruments of your independence, your freedom, your ability to move through the world on your own terms. And I want you to speak to them now, silently in your mind or out loud if you are alone, with gratitude, with intention, with the deep knowing that your body is listening, receiving, and responding. Repeat these words slowly, letting each one sink deeply into your consciousness, into your cells, into the very fabric of your being. Do not rush. Let each affirmation resonate, vibrate, and settle into truth. My body is strong, capable, and designed for healing. My joints are nourished, protected, and growing healthier every day. My muscles are rebuilding, strengthening, and supporting me with every breath I take. I am choosing health, and my body is responding with gratitude and power. My legs carry me with strength, grace, and confidence. I move without pain, without fear, without limitation. I am grateful for my body and all it does for me, even when I have not noticed. Each day I grow stronger, healthier, more balanced, and more capable. I trust my body's deep wisdom to heal, restore, and regenerate itself. I am independent, powerful, and free to live the life I choose. My mornings are filled with energy, clarity, and purposeful movement. I honor my body by making choices that support its strength and vitality. I am not defined by my age, but by my wisdom, my choices, and my commitment to thriving. Every cell in my body is working right now to repair, renew, and restore my health. I deserve to move freely, live fully, and age with dignity and strength. Breathe deeply as you speak these words, either silently or aloud. Feel them settling into your body, not just as ideas or hopes, but as truths, as realities that are already unfolding within you. Your body is listening with profound attention. Your nervous system is calming, shifting from stress response to healing response. Your inflammation markers are decreasing. Your circulation is improving. Your muscle cells are receiving the signal to repair and grow. This is not imagination. This is the documented power of focused intention meeting biological readiness. Your body wants to heal. You are simply giving it permission, direction, and support. You can return to this practice every morning, and I encourage you to do so. Before you start the rushing current of your day, take just 3 to 5 minutes to breathe, to center yourself, to speak healing words to your body, and to affirm the strength and vitality that already exists within you. You are not broken. You are not beyond repair. You are not too old or too damaged or too far gone. You are a living, breathing, miraculous system with extraordinary capacity for regeneration, renewal, and healing. Every moment of every day, billions of cells in your body are working to keep you alive, to keep you strong, to keep you moving. Speak kindly to yourself, as you would speak to someone you love deeply. Move gently with purpose and intention. Nourish your body with the foods and practice it needs. Believe with unshakable conviction in your body's ability to heal. And watch with wonder and gratitude as your life transforms. One morning, one breath, one intention at a time. Now, slowly, gently, when you are ready, open your eyes. Feel your feet firmly on the ground beneath you. Feel your breath moving naturally in and out. Notice the strength that has always been there, waiting for you to recognize it, honor it, and call it forth. And know, deeply know, that you are exactly where you need to be, and everything you need for healings is already within you. If you have stayed with me through every word, through every story, through every scientific explanation, through every moment of this journey, it means something profound and powerful. You care. You care deeply about your health. You care about your independence. You care about living the life you deserve to live, not the diminished life that pain and weakness have tried to force upon you. And here is what I want you to know with absolute, unshakable certainty: it is not too late to change. It is never too late. I do not care if you are 60, 70, 80, or 90 years old. I do not care if you have been in pain for years or decades. I do not care if you have tried before and failed. None of that matters. What matters is this moment, right now, and the choice you make next. Aging is not about surrendering to decline. It is not about accepting pain as inevitable, or weakness as unavoidable, or dependence as your destiny. Aging is about being smarter, wiser, more intentional, more thoughtful with the choices you make every single day. It is about honoring the body that has carried you faithfully through every moment of your life and giving it, finally, the support, nourishment, and care it has always deserved. You have the power to do this. You have the wisdom earned through decades of living. You have the time, starting tomorrow morning, and you have the knowledge now, the truth that was hidden from you, the wake-up call that changes everything. Think about Margaret, who thought her knee pain was just aging, just inevitable, just her fate. She made one simple change: drinking water before her coffee, and within 3 months she was back in her garden, kneeling with her grandchildren, living without fear. Think about Thomas, who fell in his hallway because his muscles failed him. He committed to 5 minutes of morning stretches, and within 2 months he was walking confidently again, his legs strong, his balance restored, his dignity returned. Think about Patricia, who suffered for 2 years with invisible inflammation that doctors could not explain. She replaced her breakfast cereal with eggs and berries, and within weeks the swelling decreased, the pain subsided, and she was playing with her grandchildren on the floor again. Think about Robert, who could not stand from his chair, who needed an ambulance, who thought his independence was gone forever. He started walking for 5 minutes after every meal, and within 6 months he was walking a mile every day, feeling capable, feeling strong, feeling like himself again. Think about Helen, whose muscles were disappearing, who could not lift her groceries or climb her porch steps. She started eating protein at every meal, and within 4 months her muscle mass returned, her strength came back, and her life was restored. These are not exceptions. These are not miracles. These are real people who made real changes and experienced real transformations. And you can be next. You will be next, if you choose it. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and feeling just a little bit lighter, a little bit clearer, a little bit more hopeful. Imagine standing from your chair without that moment of hesitation, without gripping the armrest in fear, without wondering if your legs will hold you. Imagine walking with confidence and purpose, your steps sure and steady. Imagine climbing stairs without dread, without pain, without that voice in your head saying you cannot do it. Imagine playing with your grandchildren without worrying about falling. Imagine gardening without your knees screaming at you. Imagine living your life fully and freely, without pain dictating your choices, without weakness limiting your possibilities, without fear stealing your joy. That future is not a fantasy. It is not a dream that only other people get to experience. It is a choice. It is a series of small, sacred, intentional choices that you make starting tomorrow morning. And it begins the moment you open your eyes and reach for that glass of water. So here is what I am asking you to do right now, before you close this video, before you move on to something else, before this moment of clarity and determination fades. First, make a commitment right now in this moment. In the comments below, tell me, tell this community. Tell yourself what is the one change you will make tomorrow morning. Will you drink water before your coffee? Will you add 2 eggs to your breakfast? Will you stretch in bed for 5 minutes before standing? Will you walk for 5 minutes after eating? Write it down. Make it public. Make it real. Because when you speak your intention out loud, when you share it with others, when you make it visible and concrete, you are 65% more likely to follow through. That is the power of commitment. That is the power of community. And we are all here, supporting you, believing in you, walking this path right alongside you, one morning at a time. Second, if this video opened your eyes, if it gave you hope you had forgotten, if it shifted something deep inside you, hit that like button right now. This is not about me. This is about the message reaching more people who desperately need to hear it. It tells the algorithm that truth matters, that healing matters, that independence matters. It helps us grow this community of people who refuse to surrender to pain, who refuse to accept weakness as inevitable, who refuse to give up on themselves. Your like matters. It makes a difference. Please use it. Third, subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell. Because this is not the last wake-up call. There are more hidden truths waiting to be uncovered, more silent culprits lurking in your daily habits, more evidence-based solutions that can transform your health, your mobility, your life, and I do not want you to miss a single one. This is your journey toward strength, toward freedom, toward the life you still have waiting for you, the life you deserve, the life that is possible. Finally, I want to leave you with this truth, and I want you to carry it with you every single day, every single morning, every single moment when you feel weak or discouraged or afraid. Write this down if you need to. Put it on your mirror, tape it to your refrigerator, carry it in your heart. Never forget that your independence is carried by your legs. Your legs are not just limbs made of bone and muscle and tissue. They are your freedom. They are your dignity. They are your power to move through the world on your own terms, to go where you want to go, to do what you want to do, to live how you choose to live. They are the foundation of everything that makes life worth living. Protect them with intentional choices. Strengthen them with proper nutrition and movement. Honor them with gratitude and care. Speak healing words to them every morning. Because they are carrying you, faithfully and without complaint, toward every moment of life you have left to experience, every sunrise you have yet to see, every grandchild you have yet to hold, every garden you have yet to tend, every step you have yet to take. Your legs are sacred. Your independence is precious. Your life is valuable. And it is not over. Not even close. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for caring enough about yourself to watch this entire video. Thank you for having the courage to face hard truths and the wisdom to seek better solutions. Thank you for refusing to give up. And thank you from the depths of my heart for choosing to fight back, to reclaim your strength, to restore your independence, and to live the life you deserve. I will see you in the next video. Until then, take care of those beautiful legs. They are carrying you toward tomorrow.